this stand for the neighborhood party.
Right on. Welcome to Thoughts Off the Stem. I'm Justin Barone, and today we're smoking, because I was finishing it off, the Jean Guy. Oh, I got a little fluff on me. Look at that. Little fluffy dude. I was finishing off the Jean Guy batter, which was like 66% THC, and it's a sativa, and I had mixed it with the Astro Labs Guavacot Kush Lightspeed Live Rosin Cold Cured at 73.6% THC. It's a hybrid and a sativa mix. I've smoked it on the podcast before. Kind of makes your brain go a little bit. But yeah, thank you for joining me, Justin Barone, on your Friday at 4:20 to start your weekend off right. Hope your week's going well. I'm talking funny. That hit, every time I hit that thing, it fucking makes me weird for like a good minute or two before I can settle down and really be in the high. I like being in the high. I like when you settle into the high. You know what I mean? Like if you smoke weed, you know what I'm saying, right? Like let's say you've had a long day at work. You're just you're getting home. It was, it was a stressful day. Not like in a negative way. It was just, there was a lot happening and there was a lot going on. So you're just like mentally, physically, you're done. You go to sit down on the porch or in your garage or wherever you sit with your joints. You light your joint up or you light up your bong or your dab rig, whatever. You take that first hit. After about 3 or 4, the high starts to kind of like settle in a little bit. I love that feeling. Your body just goes, oh. But that's the problem with mixing this hybrid and sativa, because they counteract each other. So right now the sativa is trying to make me go banana pants and like I feel very speedy, whereas the cold cured resin is like keeping me down. Like it's the guy going like, chill bro, whereas the other guy's like, come on man, let's do shit, And I have nowhere to run to. I have nowhere to hide. So yeah, I can say this is kind of like a weird, funky kind of high. But I do love that fucking feeling. When a joint sets in for the first time, especially after a long day, everything's just right too. Like, it doesn't always happen when you're older. Sometimes a lot of things feel forced. But like, you settle in, sit down, you smoke that joint, and everything just calms the fuck down. And you're like, cool, man. I'm good. Is that the dog? Hold on a sec. Yeah. So I like, it was the dog. Yeah. So, where was I? I forget what I was talking about now. I was talking about something. Oh, that first hit. Yeah, that's the best feeling. When you just like sink into it, you're like, oh, it's so good. I feel so much better. I feel complete. The day just washes off you. I've said that before. The day washes off you. Yeah, it feels like this, like just you feel very comfortable and relaxed. I love that feeling. It's probably one of my favorite feelings when I'm getting high. But I don't get that from this. Not even kinda. This mix has me all over the fucking place, dude. You don't settle into it until like minute 15, where you're just like, oh, okay, I get it. Because that's when the sativa wears off. It's like 66%. It's not enough, dude. And it doesn't last long either. It tastes fine. It's got flavor, but Jean Guy is not my favorite strain, and Good Supply, I'll tell you what Good Supply is good at. Good Supply is good at making vape carts. They should really just like focus on vape carts, I think. Because their stuff in vape carts is like, I would recommend it. Their flour, not so much. Anyway. Sometimes I feel like I was born in the wrong time. Do you ever feel like that? Have you ever thought like, man, And I guess it could be the future, the past, or the future. But, like, I know when I was young, I was like, man, I feel like I should have been born in the 50s. Now, having said that, I do have a heart condition. So if I was born in the 50s, I would have died in the 50s. Like, right away. Okay? So I'm glad I was born when I was born. But I just feel like my attitude, my overall values align more with that era a little bit, you know? Like in terms of how to be a man, how to take care of your like family, yourself, all that stuff. Like I envy and value people from that era that live by it, I guess. With the, with a few tweaks here and there, like maybe no racism. Maybe not so, don't bring that along. But there's other good qualities. Like I feel like people back then in the 50s were a little more dedicated, a little more loyal. I think they were more about each other back then. But then again, I don't fucking know. It just seems to me that what I see on TVs, what I read about on TV, what I read about, and, any kind of media that's ever been, like, shown to me about the 50s, I'm like, you know what? It seems like it was kind of like an orderly, respectful, community-driven time to live, you know? And I feel like that I maybe missed out on that a bit. I mean, I know that I missed the community that we had when I was a kid. Like, I can remember going to softball games with my parents, and then after the softball games on a weekend, we'd go to one of the, team members' houses, and the kids would play, and the parents would drink. I can remember stuff like that. So, like, that sense of community, like, block parties and stuff like that. Like, that seems to be less and less now. So that's why I feel like I really like that stuff. And if I lived in an environment or an area where I could do things like that, I probably would. I would attend them for sure. But I've definitely gotten lazy as well because I miss that era and not a lot of people are willing to put the effort in for that. I'm not. I mean, I am, but I'm not. I have to be motivated to put that effort in. But I also feel like I said, my values align with that era, which is kind of like a weird thing because I'm definitely lazier than people in the 50s. I definitely do things because I want to do them, which in some cases would probably piss people off from the 50s. But I like the style. I like the style of cars. I like the idea of like a black leather jacket with like grease. I used to have luxurious hair, man. I'm bald as fuck now, but I used to have luxurious hair. I remember one time I had my hair, okay? I fucking, what's that chef guy's name with the goat with the tips? Guy Fieri or whatever. I had like that hair, but like bigger. And I was like, I don't know. I think I was 18 at the time, 17, 18. Yeah, it was quite the look, dude. I had it dyed blonde, but it really just went orange because I have like I had red tints in my hair. Now I'm going through the debate of fucking whether or not I should shave my head. And that's the thing. See, you can't really be a bald guy in the 50s. You definitely get thought of in a certain way that time, Especially if you're wearing a leather jacket, some nice boots, and a fucking, overalls and jeans. Like, no, you're definitely painted in a certain picture. I'd be what they call a greaser. I would be a greaser that all I did was like I'd just hang around cars all the time. That's what I would do. That's what I think the 50s was about. Cars, leather jackets, and slick back Italian hair. Yep. And I feel like I should have been born then. I couldn't have been, but I should have been, Yeah, absolutely, dude. Do you ever feel like that? Do you ever feel like you're born in the wrong time? Like, does anybody feel like they should have been born in the future, even though we don't know what the future is like? But they're like, oh man, I was actually supposed to be a fucking half man, half robot in the year 4217. Like, does anybody have that dream? I'd be very curious. I would really love to talk to a person like that, or that's had that dream, because like, dude, that shit to me, that stuff's fascinating. I don't know why. It just is. I like to hear people's like how they got there. You know what I mean? Like, if you want to go to space, I want to know what made you want to go to space, what steps you take to go to space, like what you got to do and what you've done, you know? I want to know that. I want to know the backstory. And so when when people are like, "Hey, guess what? I want to do this and I'm going to do that." Like, I just need to know. I don't know. It's cuz I totally forgot what I was talking about. My phone went blub blub. And then it distracted me, and now I don't know what I was talking about. I was talking about bald guys at one point. I know what I was trying to say. That I feel like I should have been around in the 50s. Like, I think I should have been a teenager in the 50s, where I could have been working on cars, learning about cars. I just love cars from the 50s, 60s, like the muscle car. Oh, I would have loved to have grown up in that time. I also feel like it was simpler. So, like, whatever you did, you were more dedicated to it. There were less people. There was more craftsmanship. There was more of a concept of hard work, and like hard work getting you somewhere, you know? Yeah, I really feel like I was from a different time. My mentality is like, technology to me is awesome, but it's also fucking terrifying. Because, like, I grew up on fucking Terminator. I grew up on Total Recall. like Universal Soldier. You know what I'm saying? Like, these are movies about technology taking over the human race. And everything they did at the beginning is happening now. People are getting chips implanted in their brain. We have fucking robot dogs. We have robot people. We have an AI that is like embedded in the internet and just like the psyche of all computers, or soon to be. Like, how do we not? Oh, dude, it's too advanced for me. The idea that any of this shit is not like a sci-fi movie, it's too advanced for me. I'll take like a black Lincoln and you know, some like some cute little bird in like a polka dotted dress. I'll take that any day over the idea that there's, you know, going to be self-driving cars, or at least a self-driving car service. There's already the Google cars, dude. The Google cars self-drive. Like, that's fucked up. So, yeah, I don't know, man. I feel like I was born in the wrong time. I think every young boy, no matter what they're like, what they look up to. Like, I looked up to Schwarzenegger, Van Damme, Bruce Lee, guys like that, right? And I think that like you try to emulate the values that you perceive those characters to have. And I've built, this may be fucked up, I've built a personality on what I think an amalgamation and the ideas behind those characters were. Like the justice, the, you know, the hard work, the dedication, the spirit of that. Like the spirit, the Rocky spirit, you know what I'm saying? So I think we all, over the course of life, develop our own versions of that are better for us, right? And dude, I just can't get over how fucking crazy it is that I don't know what I'm talking about. I'll get back to you in a second. I don't like this stuff. It turns my brain off. Oh, that's what I was talking about. Was the 50s. Jesus Christ. Okay, I'm giggly. You know what? I need to smoke something. I was gonna smoke this Apple stuff as like the, review today, but I need something to calm me down. I need something more leveling. Oh, that's a good one. Okay, right here. It's a disposable. I don't know if you can hear me. Hold on a sec. Ugh. Come on, bro. There we go. Is this on? Yeah, it is. Okay. All right. Sorry for that. Okay. I spaced out for a second. That stuff in the Stune and Glass, that mix of stuff makes my fucking brain go off. Because I start talking and then all of a sudden, I just start to fucking space out. I don't even know what I'm talking. I have a clear line of thought. And then the thought totally goes away because all of a sudden now I'm just going, oh my God, blue. Like, it doesn't make any sense. So I have a feeling that the reason that some of this is happening is because there's a sativa in there that's like pretty dominant, but this hybrid, I keep tapping that like it's the fucking thing I'm smoking. That's just the device. The hybrid, the Guavacot Kush, that is like fucking with my timing in my head. So I'm sped up but slowed down. So now I need to just like slow down the sped up part. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to have some of this blue. It's a disposable or an all-in-one. It is it's by Platinum. Yeah, it's good. It's like it's a vape. It's I think it was like 88%. It's kind of like a blueberry flavor, I guess. Yeah. This should level me out pretty good. It's an indica. It's pretty heavy. But what I was saying was how crazy it would be to actually live in a time where you felt like, what? That makes no sense, Justin. I think I've just got too high. I think I've just gone dumb. I think that's what's happened here. I had a clear plan to talk about the idea that, like, have you ever felt? That's how I started this. Have you ever felt? Let's go back to the beginning. Have you ever felt like you belonged or you should have been born in a different time? And that's where I was going with everything. Haha, see, I knew something would remind me. I find that the reason that I feel like I would fit in more back then is because I feel like, and I'm sure a lot of people do, I feel like my work ethic is different from other people's work ethic around me today. Whereas I feel like back then, my work ethic would have been on par. I may have had to catch up a bit. You know what I mean? Like, I need more. I guess what I'm saying is I think I need more of a challenge. So that's why I think back then would have been a little more of a challenge because there's less electronic and there's more, Lego, right? And I think that I do well with like a hands-on Lego approach to life. Because I don't feel like I could survive in the future. I think there'd be way too much technology. I already have an implanted defibrillator. Like, I'm good on the having gadgets in me part of life, I have a battery backup. I am bionic. So I'm pretty solid that this is okay with me. Like I'm okay. Like see, that's the problem though. If if I went back to the 50s, I wouldn't be here. I guess I just idolize the concepts back then of what it was to be a man. Because I tried my best to be a man. I think I'm a man. Other than just, in body. I like the idea of a man. I like the idea of living up to a man as a man, I feel like now it's just too easy for everything to get away from you. Like back then, back in the day, even in the 80s when I was growing up, like everything was a little more peaceful. Like you could actually get some quiet, cuz even like I don't know if you find this, but if I go away on a trip, because I have my phone that has access to fucking everything, right? I still I still feel like I'm too close to everything else. Does that make sense? Because I can remember back in the day when I was a kid, you'd go off to a cottage or whatever, and you would feel like there was nothing else around. Like this was the only spot on earth. Whereas now, because a phone is a tool to just like engage you at any time, when you go away, even though that phone, you may not use it, but you put it on the safe, you put it on the thing, your brain's always going, that phone is there. People can find out where you are. You know what I mean? Like it's weird. It's like there's no sense of silence anymore. We just keep bringing up the level of noise by, and when I say that, what I mean is like you bring up the level of noise by feeding more and more information into the public, because like we're overgrown with information. We can access anything we want at any time. Oh, and now we have AI that's like learning that. And we're telling it to do stuff. Oh, great. Yep. I feel like I feel like me in the 50s, maybe the 60s, 50s, 60s, we'd get along a little better. I like the silence of no phone. Like sometimes when I go out grocery shopping, I'll just leave my phone at home. Like if the kids are out somewhere else and I don't really have to worry and the dog's just home, I'll leave my phone on the table and go do grocery shopping. I'm gone for like an hour. It's silence. No one bothering you. You just walk around. Dude, I'm telling you. I feel like that time would have been a better time. But then again, we wouldn't have things like Google. Couldn't just look stuff up. I wouldn't have a podcast. I wouldn't have any way. Maybe I would have had a ham radio and I would have been on the airwaves doing it that way. I don't know. All right. Well, I was going to review this. You know what? I'll do that too anyway. So last episode I talked about this vape cart. The green Granny Smith, I think it is. Granny Smith from Cottery. It's a live resin vape cart. It tastes like a sour Granny Smith, kind of. Well, not sour, like a Granny Smith. It's delicious. How many times does this take to turn on? There we go. Right? Yep. I don't remember what the percentage is, but I would imagine because most live resins are a little bit lower in percentage. The high is much better though. Excuse me. I think, don't quote me on this, but I think it was about 78%. I'll have to look it up after. But if nothing else, that's the one thing it does have going for it. It fucking tastes like a Granny Smith apple, for sure. It's also a sativa. It gives you kind of like that. It gives you a little bit of a racy feeling. If you don't like the racy feeling, I wouldn't smoke it. Because it does bring up, like, I always equate it with having too much coffee. It feels like you've had too much caffeine. You got the jitters. You can't really stand still. Yeah. So if you don't like that kind of high, I wouldn't do it. But if you take it in small doses, you can like bypass that. So if you want to try something and you can regulate yourself to like little bits here and there, you might find it really good. It's a good daytimer. It's good to keep you going because like I said, it's like a little hit of caffeine. So as soon as you smoke it, you get this like little boost and then you're ready to go. So you could really use it during the day. I'd recommend it. Would I buy it again? Would I buy it again? What do you think? Of course I'd buy it again. It's really good. It's tasty. The high is right. It's all heady high. There's no body buzz. I've had it for, that's another thing to note. I've had it for, I don't know, a few months now. And it still smokes the same. Like, it's not clogged. It's literally been sitting up on my cabinet for probably about 3 months. No, more than that. I would have got this at the beginning of the summer. So yeah, it hasn't clogged. I've only smoked it a couple times. As soon as I hooked it up to this thing, it was ready to go. It just started going right away. So I would definitely recommend it. No leakage. It's good. It's a good cart. So yeah, I would buy it again. And that's how it will be. I just like saying that. I don't know. It's fun. Yeah. Yeah. So I really like that one. I also like this Platinum Blue. I'll do a full review on this one day. But it's a good one too. It's good to counterbalance if you get too high on a sativa. This one's a good one because it does, like, not all strains will take over another strain, but this one for sure will cut down on anything else that you smoke. It cuts into it and takes over the high immediately. So yeah, I'll do one on that. But yeah, those are my thoughts off the stem for this week. I just wanted to see. I wanted to know if you guys ever thought it would ever thought about what it would be like to live in a different time. I think about that shit all the time, man. I would love to live in different times, different ways, different environments. Like, I would like to think that you do get different lives. Reincarnation would be awesome. If you could be reincarnated as, like, a human again, you do one life, you come back. Like, how crazy would that be, dude? You have a life, okay? You have this whole life. And then you come back, you're reborn. You maybe you have, some of your fears and your things you like and stuff are, like, from past lives. Oh, dude, if that shit was real, to me, that would be pretty crazy. I think it would be pretty interesting. Because would you know that you're in another life? Like, would you have any knowledge from the one that you just left to come to this one? And can you use that knowledge? Is that knowledge, if you do get that, if it does, like, transfer, then can you use it? Like, are you going to be able to use it? Oh. There's so many questions I would have, but I think that would be pretty cool. If that's what, like, if that's how life was all about, you just, you end off. But what also, because, dude, I'm too high for this. I just keep going on this whole thought thing of, like, okay, I'll try and explain it. Okay. Imagine that... No, that's not what I was going to say. I was going to say, I sometimes think about the idea of living different ways. I'll drive by a farm, for example, and I'll be like, I wonder what it's like to be a farmer. And then for the next, like, 5 kilometers, I'll be thinking about what my life would be like had I been a farmer, And then same thing when I watch, when you go into the city, when I go anywhere, I often look at something and I go, I wonder what that would have been like. And I think that's why I get this idea that I would have enjoyed living in the 50s, because I like a lot of the stuff that they had back then. I like the simplicity of it. I liked it, like I said, like the sense of community. I liked all that shit. And I feel that kind of shit. But I also feel that kind of shit going away because of how society is today. And how technology has sort of, made this big division in how we are. So, I totally zoned out again. Dude, I don't know. I don't know. I think the mix of all these things keeps making me zone in and out. Like, as soon as I stop talking, I forget my line of thought. And then when I do talk, my line of thought and train of thought, my line of thought and train of thought go like way left from where I was actually going to go. Because I always have a plan in what I'm saying. But then I get high and I forget that plan. And then I just kind of start rambling about whatever. If I lived in the 50s, I'd have a leather jacket. I'd have grease. I would have that, like, I'd have a comb in my pocket, the switchblade comb, right across the head, you know. Can't now because I'm fucking bald, but whatever. Back then, I would have had a nice head of hair. Dude, yeah. I often think of what it would be like. Oh, that's what I was saying. Oh my god. Yeah, like when it doesn't matter the scenario. There's certain times where I think about certain things and I'm like, I wonder if I could live like that. And then I kind of live it out in my brain for the next, little while. Sometimes days, whatever. Just as like a fun idea of like, could I do that? Would I live like that? How would I handle it? And I never think about living in the future though. Not once. Maybe that's because to me the future is kind of terrifying. Like I don't think that the future will be very much different, even though I'm probably wrong on that, but I don't think the future will be that much different than it is now. But then again, I also believe that the Jetsons is going to happen sometime. I mean, I don't know how you can't believe that there might not be, that that there's not other life. There's got to be other life, man. Anyway, I don't know. I'm rambling now. Holy fuck, dude. I'm laughing at myself like an idiot. Alright. I'm going to cut myself off. Those are my thoughts off the stem for this week. I hope you come back next week. Thank you for joining me, Justin Barone, on Thoughts Off the Stem. Hope to see you next Friday at 4 p.m. on Spotify. No, at 4:20 p.m. on Spotify, Google Podcasts, Apple Podcasts, iTunes, YouTube, Good Pods, Podchaser, Pandora, Podbean. What else? Where else? Am I missing anything else? Well, whatever. You could go to tots420.com to find all the links to all that stuff. Until next time, I guess just keep your lids low, baby. Oh my god, that's what happens when you get too high off that shit. My brain, this is going to be, I don't know, man.
Thoughts off the stem, friend, a neighborhood party.
Right on.